Hi guys, and welcome back to ByTheNook, and today you are going to come with me to Hol Mat 2025. Not actually, obviously. I mean, Hol Mat's already over, so it'd be kind of hard for you to come with me. For those of you that don't know what Hol Mat is an anime convention that happens in Orlando, Florida every year, and they just recently moved over to the OCCC, which is the Orange County Convention Center. So it's bigger, it's better, and it was so much fun this year, so I wanted to take you guys with me. So day one was kind of weird. It was mainly just supposed to be registration and like one panel because I had stuff to do after the con that day. So we went to registration first. Registration was a little insane this year. This year, for some reason at registration, prepaid and purchasing was the same line. So whether you had prepaid or not, it was still an hour-long wait. I'm not even kidding. It was an hour, which was a little annoying, and it took forever. And I mean, it was just an hour of basically standing. We were not moving very much, so that was a little bit insane. After we got done with registration, we did get to walk through the vendor hall, which was a little confusing at first. Very generally, when you go to a convention, they'll separate what they call a vendor hall and artist alley. Vendor hall is normally people who, there's different companies that come by, and it's generally things that are not artist renditions of anything. That is what the vendor hall normally is. And then artist alley is where you get your posters, your pins, your keychains. All of the fan art that you're looking for is probably back there. Most conventions separate them entirely, and Hol Mat used to separate them entirely. This was not what happened here. When you go to conventions as well, they normally have banners separating what they'll call aisles, and it'll be like aisle 100 through 600. This is like kind of generally what it is. And they'll have the banners like hanging from the ceiling saying what aisle you're in. Problem being is that those banners are normally in the center of wherever you are, so that it can be easier for you to find. So vendor hall had their banners up in the middle, and then artist alley was kind of directly behind where the banners were, but they didn't have the same aisles. So it made this like weird staircase shape, and it made everything get really confusing out of nowhere. It was very disorienting, and it was really hard to remember where old booths were. Or if you had been to like a booth yesterday and you were like, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. It was like a nightmare to try to remember it. We eventually did figure out where we were, and we like kind of made our own system, but it did not make any sense at first. That being said, the aisles were so much wider than they normally are, which was such a gift. I get really like, I don't even know if claustrophobic is the word, but when people start to pack together in like a tight, like when you start being stopped in traffic and it starts to feel like you're all packed in like sardines, it really freaks me out. It's one of my main problems that I have with MegaCon is that they like can't widen it anymore, but they won't like extend the aisles either. So it gets a little insane in there, but they solved it almost perfectly at Hol Mat. I only got into like a stopped area once the entire weekend. Every other time there was at least somewhere where I could walk to get out, which was such a blessing. Kind of just wandered around until the Iron Mouse panel came up. Once that came up, we headed over kind of immediately because we knew it was going to fill up pretty fast. It was super cute. I don't really know much about VTubers, but I know Iron Mouse specifically, so it was really cool to be able to see her, and they did it really well. The only thing I wish, the middle screen stayed as the Hol Mat screen for some reason. I don't know if that was for advertising or something, but I was like, that should also be her, I feel like. Because we sat in the middle so that we could see easily, and then both sides were kind of impaired. So that was a little weird, but it was very fun panel to be at. That panel lasted about an hour. After it was done, we went outside and we met up with our friends Liv and Tony. Liv was dressed as the Polar Express, but she was one of the chefs in the Polar Express with like the hot cocoa cup. I was so excited when she told me about this. I brought a chef hat so that I could match her. We only walked around for like another hour, I think, and then I had to leave so that I could go to a hockey game with my mom, my sister, and my sister-in-law. And with that, Hol Mat day one was complete. So day two was our longest and busiest day of the weekend. So we got started super early. I got into my Superman cosplay that day. It was super comfortable. I'm so glad I did it. I also decided not to wear the chaps that I was wearing with the costume before and just wear my jeans. And I liked how it looked and felt so much more. So I don't think I'm gonna be wearing the chaps again. Walking around in just jeans instead of like, when you walk in chaps, it makes you walk like you're skating, and it's the worst thing ever. I thought it was gonna change the look too much, but then when I saw it, I was like, I like how it changed it, so who cares? We got there around 11 and immediately started Christmas shopping because that was like my one goal of the day, was to make sure that almost all of my Christmas gifts were done, if not all of them. So we kind of just hit the ground running into the vendor hall. There were so many cool booths at this con, dude. It was so cool to walk around and see everything. I wish I could have bought from literally every single stand. Everybody had such cool art. There was some stuff that I could tell was from a game, like I had seen it before, and I really wanted to buy it because the art was just gorgeous, even if I had never played the game. So I so deeply wish I could have bought from everybody. It was so cool. After we had done some of our Christmas shopping, we went ahead and went to the Marvel trivia panel that we had planned. The panel was so well done. A lot of the time when you go to panels that are supposed to be for trivia, it's like super baseline stuff, like which of the Avengers is green? But most of the questions in this panel were super well written, so you had to actually think about the question and it wasn't just like a basic thing. And also a lot of them were like deep cuts into actual lore. It was so cool to see everybody participating, and just seeing that how much knowledge people had about it was so sick. We didn't respond to literally any of the questions because we found it so much more fun to just watch everybody else do it. It was such a good time. However, right after we got out of the panel, we noticed a little problem. So here are some fun facts about this exact moment, right? So first things first, I think we're at like 7 hours through the day. Like I think we've been here for 7 hours, which is not that bad. I'm not feeling great. I'm so sleepy. I bought so much stuff. I got through most of my gifts, thank God. We have an event at 10, right? We have absolutely nothing in between the vendor hall closing and our 10 o'clock event. So we're going to be stuck doing nothing basically for 2 hours. There's a rave tonight, also starts at 10. Yeah, I don't particularly know what we're going to do. So we very quickly realized we would have to fill in our time in some way. We started looking around at the panelists again. We had only taken a look at the beginning of the weekend, so we were like, maybe something's been added or maybe we missed something. We found this 2-hour-long meme bingo game that we were like, this could be fun. Who cares? If it's not fun, we'll just leave, right? We got there. That was one of my favorite events of the weekend, if not my favorite event. It was so much fun. It was a group of maybe 100 people. Basically how you played was they would hand out this bingo sheet. It would have all of the songs listed on the sheet, and then it would have like what year it was from and what the actual song name was, and then they would play a bunch of the songs, and then you would just keep marking off every time. They wouldn't tell you what the meme it was connected to, which honestly was fine with me. And they would tell you the full name of the song so you wouldn't just like miss it because you didn't know what it was called. It was so good. It was hosted by this guy who apparently came up from Miami to come to Hol Mat, and he, I guess, hosts bingo games all the time. He absolutely had the best energy ever, and he did the game so well, and he kept everybody going. He also the whole time was like not expecting that many people to be there, so it was really cool to see him get excited about that too. It was such a good time. If you ever see a meme bingo panel, please go to it. That was so good. I didn't even notice the 2 hours go by. Like so much fun. So when that panel was over, we went ahead and just walked around the Hyatt for a bit because we knew we had about an hour until our next one. But when we came back to line up for our next panel and the last panel of the night, a couple of things were happening. So the first thing was that there was a Cowboy Bebop like live band that was playing. They had this huge line. All I know was I was hearing people talk about there being like exclusive merch that was there that was like limited edition. So there was a ton of people in line for this. And I don't think that the room that they had planned to put it in was big enough to hold everybody, but they had a massive line that was snaking around like different areas and through hallways and stuff. The second thing was in the hallway that the Cowboy Bebop line was snaking into, there was also a cafe that was supposed to be opening that people were supposed to be able to walk in and out of, but people are already in line for that. So now there's 2 lines going down this fairly small hallway. And then there was our line for our panel, which was an 18 plus Hear Me Out panel. It was our line, which had like kind of turned itself around because we didn't want to knock into the Cowboy Bebop line. Then the Cowboy Bebop line, so doubled up, and then Cowboy Bebop, and then the cafe line. There was no room to walk for a minute. There was no shot of anybody getting anywhere. There's staff yelling on both sides, and none of the staff was able to communicate. I don't know if they didn't have like walkies or something, or if their communication was dead somehow, but they were yelling over and yelling different things. So all of the lines started getting jumbled. And I was like, I can't do this. And I immediately had to leave because, again, when people start getting like sardines, I'm like, I can't do this. And I immediately leave the area. So I left for about 5 minutes. I came back and I was talking to the staff. I was like, hey, I really just want to get in line for this panel. I know there's a lot going on right now. If you don't have time to talk to me, that's fine. And they were like, no, we're trying to figure it out right now. And they did get it figured out fairly fast. And I'm assuming a manager for Hol Mat came out and was like, hey, what is going on? Because there was a lot of things happening in that area and it immediately became like a safety problem. But they handled it as quickly as they could and as safely as they could. It was just a very rough like 10 minutes of us being like, we can't be in here, not while all this yelling is happening. But about maybe 5 minutes after all of that happened, we got let into our panel room. It was basically a group assigned tier list. So they had a bunch of characters that they had pre-done for the tier list. And then they would ask us the tiers. Basically, they would have like a character up on the screen and they would go, does anybody want to defend this character or talk about this character? So you would say what tier you would think it would go in. And you would defend if you're like, oh yeah, that character is absolutely a hear me out, or that character is absolutely disgusting. You would go up and talk for 15 seconds and then the room would vote on which one they wanted. It was so fun. I really wish it was longer. We had to speed round the end of it, which was also very funny. But we did eventually get the whole tier list done. I truly could not have asked for a more fun panel at the end of the night. At the end of the night, we were exhausted. That was such a long day. I mean, I had woken up at, I think, 8 a.m., I think, and it was 10 o'clock at night and we had been walking around all day. 10 o'clock when the panel started. I think it was 12 o'clock by the time we were leaving. It was so long, but so much fun. I had such a good time. We stopped on our way home to get Taco Bell. I finally got to take off the cosplay I was wearing, and with that, day 2 was complete. Now, day 3 was our easiest day by far. We knew that we weren't going to be staying the whole time. We had done pretty much everything we wanted, and there wasn't really any panels that we wanted to go to on day 3. So we slept in, got there a little late, and then we walked around the con for a little bit. We walked around the vendor hall and the artist alley and got the last of the things that we wanted before we had to leave for the weekend. And then we said goodbye to Hol Mat of 2025. This con means so much to me. It was such a good time. I'm so happy I went. I'm so happy I got to spend the whole weekend with Rachel. Rachel and I don't get to see each other very often, so it was just 3 days of us hanging out, and it was peak. I had such a good time. I wish I had gotten video of more of the cosplayers that were there. Specifically, that triggered because I said peak. There was a group of 4 peak cosplayers, and they were so cool. I loved how they did their heads. Like, it just looked so good from the outside. I wish I'd asked them about it too. But it was truly such a good event, and I would really recommend it if you've never gone before. It is a very overstimulating event if you've never gone before though. So keep that in mind, that you may have to take breaks, you might have to go outside. But for a con that is in one of the coolest months of the year, is just generally a very accepting convention, and people will help you out when you're there. It's such a good time if you've never gone. All right, we're doing a haul. I wanted to show you everything that I got from the con. Starting with this one. This is a Stolus pillow from Has-Been. I don't know anything about this show. This is a gift from my sister-in-law. I feel so stupid because sometimes I know like words that are in shows. Like, I'll know the names of things and the names of people. So when you're talking to me and you're like, my favorite character is Stolus, I'm like, that's really cool. And then I'll remember Stolus, but I won't remember what Stolus looks like. So I go up to Boots and I go, hey, this is gonna sound stupid as shit. Is this Stolus? And they're like, yeah, why? I'm like, can I get one? Like, I seem like a fake fan buying one. Whenever I go to cons, I buy a plethora of stickers. So we're gonna go through a bunch of the bumper stickers that I bought first. Where will you be during random chimp event? This is actually the website of the place that was selling it. It's really cool. All of their stuff was so funny. I was so excited. And the guy who was running the booth was wearing an orangutan costume. This is who you're tailgating, by the way. Obviously, it's me. I'm Baby. I love Toxic Old Man Yowie. This also came from the place that sold the chimp event one. This is just Monkey Jungle. Very cool. I'm not like other ponies. I have BPD. First of all, I want to talk about something that I don't have with me anymore because I gave it to somebody already. I had bought this like Grimlock keychain. I'm gonna see if I can find their like booth card in any of my stuff. But it was like a Grimlock keychain from Transformers, but the keychain came with a little standee. It was so cute. I was so excited that I had found it. Another one of those that I was like, I don't remember the name of this thing, but it's my friend's favorite. Can you please? This is another Transformers thing for my bestie. I can't take it fully out, so I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. It is a Starscream shaker keychain. Just shake them around a little bit. This is the booth that I got it from. Anytime I have the card, I will show the card. I'm gonna hold it a little further back just in case that didn't have all the info on it. I didn't go back and get it, but I think this is the booth that was selling there was like a Bumblebee keychain that had like nacho, like him in nachos. I wanted that so bad and I didn't go back and get it and I regret it. Day one, I was wearing a Dino Nugget shirt and then I was walking around and I found this place. This is the Chug It Club. They were selling a bunch of like chicken nugget themed things. And I got this because it was a requirement that I did, I think. Ooh, this was my next mission for the weekend was to find, oh my God, I keep forgetting that's in there. Was to find some Super Bat stuff. Isn't that cute? I love it so much. It's so cute. These are medieval cats, our little mini keychains. This one's Damien. It's new style and old style. This one is Batman, new style and old style. This one is Superman. And he's just all happy, and then on the back, he's all angry. Technically, I did not purchase from Uniglitter. I purchased from a different company that I do not have the card for. They gave me this bag. It does not have their name on it. It just says thank you. But I just wanted Uniglitter, and they were like, hey, we're a distributor for Uniglitter. So I am so happy I went there. They were super nice to me the whole time, and I'm really upset that I did not get their card. But I got these 3 Uniglitter colors. This one was an add-on. I'm not even sure. I want red, and I know I'm going to use red, so that's why I picked that one out. But I was not planning on buying red at the time until they told me there was a sale. These were the main ones that I actually wanted. This green one is called Emerald Shimmer for a cosplay that I am doing in hopefully March. hopefully. And then this one is called Angelic Sparkle, which is so cute, which is for the cosplay that I'm doing in case the green does not look good. The company that I bought them from also gave me these, which are like little applicators for the glitter. And they gave me these. These are lint rollers. They gave me 2, which is why I'm saying these. But these are lint rollers. The lint rollers take off the glitter so easy. I'm so wildly shocked by this. I have had Uniglitter so many times over the past couple of years, and I've never once tried to take them off with a lint roller. But it worked perfectly. Like he took it off of my arm in the con hall. I was so excited. This was one of the booths that was like in the vendor area, but it looked like it was like the other events area, you know, where they have like this area where they have other events advertising for themselves. It's normally like one straight line. This is on Gaku Overdrive. They are a company that sources video game music for different events. This is one of the next events. They just handed me this one. They are a music sourcing company. It is so, they were explaining it to me. They had all of their like main bands and stuff. They were telling me about it. I was having a great time talking to them. And they gave me this ribbon. It says, I love video game music. Getting ribbons at cons is not common on the East Coast. So I was super surprised to even get any ribbons at all, let alone for free. Very exciting time for all of us involved. I bought these with 0 true intentions. I know I want to do a cosplay that's like funny with them, but I don't have like an actual idea right now. I just wanted to make sure I got them because they were cheap when I was there. So this is for a Secret Santa event I'm doing at work. It says, are we fighting evil by moonlight tonight? I don't know. The person I'm giving the gift to as the Secret Santa loves Sailor Moon, and I'm very excited for them to get this. This was at the same booth. This is a stocking stuffer for my brother. Hopefully he will like it because I cannot remember if Cloud is his favorite or not. This is the artist that it came from. Super cool stuff that he had there. He also had a bunch of Super Smash stuff and Mario Kart like posters and everything. Those were also so sick. This is for my brother, but I think I will be getting one if I see one of these again. It's a game folio. Obviously it says everything that it has. It is like a all-in-one D&D binder. The only other thing that you would really have to take with you is like, obviously if you have a dice bag and then your character models, But this is like perfect if you want to separate by campaign and keep all of your characters in one portfolio, or like if you want to keep all of your campaigns characters, like if you want to keep everybody's stuff in one area and keep a notebook of everything that is in here. There's like a little, there's like a set of rings on the side, and it's leather. It's cool. I really like this. This was from the Goblin Market people. I signed up for their mailing list, and they gave me one. Oh God, it's not staying still. They gave me one that says, "You've got mail." I was so excited. I literally said to them, I haven't gotten mail in forever, which is stupid. I get mail every day, but the "you got mail" made me so happy. This was for me. They're very cool. I'm very excited to use these and start making more D&D characters. This is called the Deck of Many Things, and it says, "Fortune favors the bold sometimes." I was kind of confused as to what they were at first. It says, "Treat or torment your players with wonderful boons and woeful banes of the Deck of Many Things in your next game." Then it says, "Don't forget to share," or actually, yeah, "Don't forget to share your adventures by hailing us on Facebook and Instagram, Forge Dice." I'm assuming that there's like events that happen. I don't know. I'm going to ask my brother about it when he opens it, but this was also really cool. This is the Eye of Sauron, obviously. And then I'm trying to keep those so still and not bend them at all. I'm so scared of bending these. This is for my partner. This is a Helldivers 2 poster. I actually almost bought a Warhammer poster because I thought it was Helldivers, and I made sure to ask because I was like, I think that's Warhammer. And they were like, it certainly is. And then this is for my roommate. Even with all this, I wish I could have supported some of the booths more. Yeah, I don't know. Support your local artists. So that was the con. Hol Mat gets bigger and better every year. So I hope that it continues to grow and just continue getting better and better and better and better, because obviously there's still little things that can be tweaked about a convention. Go to a con, enjoy yourself. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. With that, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you had a wonderful con if you went to Hol Mat, and I hope that you stay cool and that you stay cringe, and I'll see you later. Bye.